Hey, what's going on? This is Carl Ragavan, Europe's original starting strength coach. I'm here, springtime already, shades are on. I'm in AARHUS, Denmark, Denmark's second biggest city. It's a lovely place. So today I want to talk about training at a real gym and the importance of sourcing and finding those places and how it's going to help your training massively get results. So a big problem I see with my online clients is simple things which could have been avoided if they just took some extra time, like I'm walking to the gym right now, if they just sourced a better gym to train. Things like when they ask for a spot in the gym for a bench press, they're doing a set of 5, like a meaningful PR set of 5 that day, and the dude steals their rep. What are you going to do? The guy doesn't know. He's not got knowledge on what the hell you were doing. So is it really his fault, or did you just ask the wrong person? You're in the wrong place, right? Or even the quality of the equipment. Can you really blame a globo gym for having shit barbells and no Sentinel 32mm barbells, no chalk rules, 1 squat rack, and you actually pay to be there? Is it really their fault? By just blaming them and saying, oh, this gym's shit, but you still pay membership there, you still go there because it's the closest gym to your house or whatever, it suits your lifestyle in some form or another. Is it really their fault, or are you at fault because you're someone who's too lazy, or it's too inconvenient to go out of your way, spend another half an hour, whatever, to actually go and train at a real gym? Because again, I've been in that position where I have to train at a shit gym, and you make do, right? So my point being, by sourcing a gym which has the equipment you want, again, it doesn't have to be calibrated Eleiko plates or E&R squat racks, which is, or Rogue power bars. Of course, those are the ideals. Again, there is an optimum best practices. If money wasn't a budget, you can have all these great things, right? But does that mean you can't get big and strong without all those things? No. But again, I've traveled around the world and had to make do sometimes with shitty gyms, people stealing reps on my bench, XYZ. Another one which I find really annoying is a really bad bench press. So it's either really unstable, the actual bench itself, it's got a hole in the middle. God knows why they designed them like that. People who don't lift. So benches, I've found, are the most annoying. And then I would definitely say plates. If you have like shitty plates which are too low to the ground, or the hexagon ones, all of those kind of things, any sort of pull from the floor. And then if you're going to do power cleans or any Olympic lifts, it's completely out of the picture in most gyms that have poor equipment facilities, like no bumpers, or gym owners who don't like you dropping weights, or even if you lowered a deadlift a little bit, like as in a controlled drop, all of these things. Point is it really the fault of them, or are you at fault and you just need to make do with a shitty gym? So you need to compromise there. But why compromise? How about go to a gym where there are really big and strong people who can motivate you, give you advice, spot you correctly, have decent banter because they actually know what you're about. Being around a community of like-minded people, as opposed to being that weirdo in the corner who's just squatting for an hour and everyone's just waiting to do curls or pull-ups. on that rack because it's got a good mirror or a spotlight. Why put yourself in that position when you can just simply make a little bit more time and go to a good gym where there's 10 racks, 10 Eleiko barbells, calibrated plates, platforms, bumper plates, and all of this stuff? That's the real question. So as I'm walking to the gym today, beautiful day, it's coming up to my last 3 sessions. This is a Friday, heavy day. I've got 3 more sessions after today. So we've been in Denmark for almost 12 weeks. I've been in AARHUS training here for almost close to that whole time. We've been back and forth to Copenhagen. I've even had an impromptu trip to Paris. And then I also went to go see my nephew, my uncle. So my sister had a baby. So yeah, we've basically been in Denmark for 12 weeks. And I really love this gym. It's very special. It's got a really good community vibe. And it's something that you don't see in every gym, which is kind of sad in a way, because the gym should be like that, right? You should be able to have a cohesive unit, especially these sports, Olympic lifting and powerlifting, strength training in general. They're mostly individual sports, as in one lifter, one bar, but they're usually trained in a community, and you can have access to that if you go to these places. Bearing in mind, I had to jump through a few hoops, right? This is a little bit out of town for me. I'm more in the center of AARHUS. So it's a bit of a mission on the bus. This is a bit of a trek on foot, but you know what? It's been really worth it. I've met a really cool bunch of people, met some really impressive, strong people, and I've probably made friends for life here. And that is worth the extra time investment in my day and the faff of having to just do this 3 days a week, you know? And there's value to that, which, if you're serious about strength training and your results, you should probably think about doing that too, especially if it's in your neighborhood. If you have access to this culture of lifting, this is where you should be. This is where the party's at. And you shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm not strong enough. I shouldn't be there because I need to get strong before I go to a strong gym. And it's the same problem I see with people who want to come to me for starting strength. They want to train by themselves before they even see me, and it's like, you're at the most palpable learning place where it actually would be great if you just started with good habits from the jump. Why do you need to toil through making mistakes, getting a ton of bad movement patterns because you feel like you're not good enough? This gym, especially, the club itself has moved around a little bit, but in AARHUS, this club has been around since 1896. Probably one of the oldest clubs lifting barbell teams in Denmark, full stop. And there's some beautiful pictures up on the wall of the teams. There's some great medals framed, great pictures of them lifting, and it's just got that really nostalgic feel of community, which I think again is missing in that kind of globo gym, and you'll never get. So there's a feeling of being in a space that's bigger than you, and that's really important, because sometimes you can get a big ego and not really keep at the front of your mind why you're here. And yes, of course, we all want to get bigger and stronger, or at least I hope you do. But when you come to a gym like this, which has so much history, so much culture, it makes you feel proud to still be carrying on that tradition. I mean, I don't know how true this is, but this is a crazy thing I heard about in Japan, that the art of making the katana, kind of shogun samurai swords, the people who are making them, their kids have no interest in keeping that tradition going. You know, they're fleeing from the towns that they're once from, and they're going to the big city to take up modern jobs, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But a sense of losing something as special as making Japanese swords and that tradition not being passed on, that's kind of how I feel about barbell training, you know. It's a tradition that's been going on for hundreds of years now, and seeing that up on the wall is inspiring, and seeing that we're still keeping it going is a really, really good thing. And I think it should be championed. It should be taken with a huge amount of pride that we're carrying on that tradition, and we're trying to level up and make the club better. So if you're on a fence about going to a real barbell gym that has legitimate weightlifters and powerlifters or strongmen or anyone who competes, don't. They're actually the nicest people you could ever meet. They're really welcoming, and it's just a good community of people. It's a good bunch of people, and the last thing you should be is afraid of coming to this gym because you're not good enough. Everyone is welcome. You'll have a great time. You'll make loads of great friends, and you won't regret it. And you may even one day compete yourself. You may get the bug. Say bit by the iron bug, right? It's the thing. When you compete, I've done a few meets myself, weightlifting, powerlifting, and strength lifting. And it is, well, when you have a good day's lifting and you hit some PRs, you do get bit by the iron bug. But I will say, I love training. I love coming in here 3 days a week, being around like-minded people, doing my program, hitting my numbers, and seeing weight on the bar improve every week. So for me, I actually do really love the process. Don't get me wrong. I am chasing big numbers, and I want bigger numbers than I have right now. But the process has always been the thing I love the most. The training, the day-to-day. And that shouldn't be looked down on. You should be constantly trying to, in your mind, and even for me, I'm guilty of this too, you should be trying to stay present and be in the now for like being ready to make that next set of 5, that next 2.5 kilo jump. And when you're in an environment like this, your bar instantly grows. Your technique instantly gets better because you're around people who are really great at what they do. So yeah, that was my little spiel about why picking a good quality gym is important for your training, regardless of your strength level. I think you're going to have a great time, meet some great friends, and you're actually going to improve your training. So if you get around to it, come to a great gym like this in AARHUS, AARHUS Athletic Club, AAK. This is the spot. But yeah, I think you won't regret it. There's initially that little bit of reservation, but I honestly think you're going to have a great time in a spot like this. All right, gang, hope you liked that video. Hopefully that sunk in, and maybe one day you can come and train at a cool gym like this. Buckle up the courage. Don't be scared. It's a great place. Or gyms like this in your neighborhood. If you know a good weight training barbell club, a real black iron gym, a real place where there are strong, impressive lifters, you won't regret it. It's going to help your training so much. So yeah, if you like this video, comment, like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. If you need help with your own training, you can have access to me. I can help coach you with online coaching. That is through my website. So beautifulstrengthgym.com, BEA, beautifulstrengthgym.com. Let's get it. Let's make some gains. Remember, the barbell never lies.